Have you opened a security policy that reads like it was copy-pasted straight from a law? No wonder nobody follows it. Here's the thing. When policies are written for lawyers instead of employees, people don't understand what to do. So they don't change their behavior. And then when something goes wrong, like a breach, an audit failure, a lawsuit, investigators find the same thing every time. The policy existed, but it was not followed. That's not a policy problem. That's a translation problem. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take any compliance requirement and turn it into something your team will actually read, understand, and follow. Let's talk about why this happens. Most policies fail for 3 reasons. First, your employees don't understand what they're supposed to do. Appropriate technical measures, what does that even mean? Is it change your password, install software, call IT? They don't know. Second, policies are outdated or buried where nobody sees them. Policies live in a drawer or a shared drive that nobody visits. So even if you wrote good policies, people still won't follow them if they can't find them. Third is most important. It's almost impossible to hold people accountable. You can't train someone on something they don't understand. You can't discipline them for breaking a rule they never grasped. Here's what happens. Regulations leads to complex policies, which lead to confused employees. That leads to non-compliance and eventually expensive fines and incidents. Every step is preventable, but it starts with one thing: taking what lawyers wrote and translating it into what normal people will follow. Here's an analogy that will change how you think about this. Driving on the right is the actual law, but you see how a parent explains it to their teenager. That's exactly what we have to do in companies. Take the law and translate it into something normal people will follow. We're going to show you how to do this in 3 simple steps. Step 1 is to understand the intent. What are you actually trying to prevent or achieve? Step 2, write it in plain language, a simple, "we will" sentence. Third one is to define the owner and scope. Who's responsible and who has to follow this? That's it. Let's understand from a real regulation as example. Here's a sentence from a typical data protection requirement. Okay, that's dense. Let's strip it down. What's the intent? Protect personal data from unauthorized access. That's it. Everything else is details. So we write that down as our intent. This becomes our North Star. Everything else flows from this. Now comes the magic. We take that intent and write a "we will" statement that any employee will understand. We will limit access to personal data to people who need it for their job, and we will review that access at least once a quarter. Notice what happened here. We got rid of buzzwords. Appropriate measures became limit access and review it. We said who is supposed to do this and when, at least once a quarter. And most importantly, your employees understand it. This is the sentence you use in training. This is the sentence that employees remember and can actually do. Finally, step 3, owner and scope. Who's responsible? Data protection officer and IT security. Who has to follow this? All employees and contractors handling customer data. This makes accountability clear, no ambiguity. Let me show you another example so you see this pattern clearly. Here's a typical requirement on companies' data protection. Appropriate safeguards shall be in place to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information assets. 3 buzzwords. Nobody knows what they mean. Here's how we translate that. We will protect company data from being seen, changed, or lost by accident or misuse. IT will set up access controls, backups, and monitoring to support this. See what we did? Confidentiality became seen. Integrity became changed. Availability became lost. Plain English. Then we said who's responsible. IT. Specific, not just the organization. And we said what they'll actually do. Access controls, backups, monitoring, real, measurable actions that people get. Before you go write your own policies, here are 3 pitfalls to avoid. First, don't dump entire law sections into your policy. Second, don't mix detailed how-to steps into the policy. We will protect data is a policy. How to create a password is a procedure. Keep them separate. Third, don't write a policy and forget about it. Review your policies regularly, every year at minimum. If the world changes and your policy doesn't, it's useless. Here's your checklist for a good policy. Clear intent. You can say it in 1 sentence. A plain, "we will" statement that a 15-year-old could understand. Clear owner role with no ambiguity, and a defined scope. If your policy has all 4, you're done. You've got something people will follow. Here's your challenge for today. Take 1 ugly clause from a law or framework you're working with. GDPR, HEPA, doesn't matter. Run it through these 3 steps. Rewrite just 1 policy. I guarantee you it will make your next training session clearer and your next audit easier. Once you have clearer policies, do you know the next thing people ask me? How do we actually get people to care about this stuff? The answer is a simple risk workshop, the kind where non-compliance people actually enjoy it. If you found this useful, subscribe to this channel. We publish new videos every week on compliance, policy, and making GRC actually work. Visit our website, www.grctimes.com, for free templates and checklists. Thanks for watching. Now go fix that policy.